Good evening, everyone. I'm Christopher Brantley. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, we all know there's a seasonality for many businesses here in Sarasota, but what about ride-sharing apps like Uber? ABC 7's Kate Flexter tells us some Uber drivers are feeling the slowdown during the summer months.
Christopher, the Uber drivers we spoke to say that seasonality is leading to a situation where the supply seems to be outpacing the demand.
When the ride-sharing app Uber came to Sarasota, controversy came along for the ride, starting an all-out battle between taxi drivers and Uber drivers. But as Ray Zarnowski tells us, there's a new battle brewing.
It's Uber against Uber.
He's been driving for Uber for about a year and says like most service industry jobs in Sarasota, there's a seasonality to it. October through May, he tells us business is good with drivers waiting around 20 minutes between rides. But come June, drivers say that wait can be as much as an hour.
It's like someone shuts off the spigot come Memorial Weekend. It's done.
Plus, Uber is always recruiting new drivers, many of which find the company appealing due to its flexible hours. But Zarnowski says that also creates a fast-growing supply that's outpacing demand.
They're adding more competition to the marketplace. I love every Uber driver out there, but they're my competitor, for God's sakes.
We spoke to an Uber representative who acknowledged the seasonality of the local market, but said Sarasota's market is constantly growing. He added Uber will continue to improve the products and services available to satisfy customer demand and also ensure that partnering with Uber is a viable earnings opportunity for our driver partners. Still, Uber Select driver Tad Dillon says he's seen the same trend as Zarnowski.
And how long have you been driving Uber?
A little over a year.
So you've seen the full seasonality.
I've seen the full cycle, right.
Dillon says he's happy to see Uber's popularity taking off, but says the trick is to strike some sort of balance.
It's a real good value to customers already, so I think it's just a matter of matching supply with demand.
An added factor in this equation will be when the ride-sharing service Lyft arrives in Sarasota. The company has already started recruiting drivers locally and should be here in a matter of months. Christopher?
All right, Kate, thank you. And plans are on track to close a major road in the middle of Sarasota for at least a year, and the closure could have some after effects. Starting on Monday, the city will close Osprey Avenue between Mound and Bay Vista. Engineers will be working around the Osprey Avenue Bridge to start the long-awaited sewage station project nearby Lukewood Park. They're suggesting you take US 41 to Hillview and bypass Osprey for the next 12 to 18 months. The sewage station project is scheduled to be completed in 4 years. Well, we got absolutely pounded by storms earlier this evening. Let's head over to Steve Newman for a first check on our weather.
It was wild, not one round, but 2 rounds of storms, and this is the last one moving away from us over Tampa Bay and now moving off of Pinellas County this evening. This little green patch is a flood warning that was issued because of all the heavy rain for the Myakka River at Myakka State Park, where they have some minor flooding going on. It's typical for this time of year when we get these heavy storms, but it takes a while for those water levels to go down. And how much rain did we get? Well, near Fort Myers International Airport down there, they had almost 5 inches of rain from these storms, but in the local area, more modest amounts, but still pretty healthy in some places. 2.5 in the eastern part of Sarasota, as much as 3.6 around Oda. Arcadia just under 2 inches. And for the almanac today, our high this afternoon was 93, last night's low 76. We have a break from the storms coming tomorrow. I'll tell you all about it with the complete forecast in just a few minutes. Christopher?
All right, Steve, thank you. Well, there was a tribute concert tonight at Hunsader Farms in Manatee County. Dozens of people showed up to honor the life of 14-year-old Stephen Brumby. He died earlier this month when his father accidentally shot him at High Noon Gun Range on Bee Ridge Road. At the tribute, a band named Alone Together honored their friend with a song entitled Meteor. They say it reflects how bright Brumby was and how many lives he touched.
It helps us relive his memory and to be together, to grieve together, to hope together. So that's why we're out here doing all this. So just to celebrate his memory and his life.
The concert was free to the public, and while it had its sad moments, organizers say it was meant to show how Stephen Brumby touched those around him. 1 in 8 women are diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime, and for that reason, people gathered at Gilligan's on Siesta Key today. The goal was to raise money to send breast cancer survivors to Dallas for the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer 3-day 60-mile walk. There were games like bra pong and cornhole. There was live music, raffles, and a silent auction.
I'm a 10-year survivor. I have a sister that's a 6-year survivor, and our mother is also a 6-year survivor. So we're going to Dallas to do the Komen 3-day. It's a 60-mile walk over 3 days, and we each have to raise $2,300.
The goal of the 3-day walk is to raise awareness to and hopefully someday find a cure for the disease. Well, if you're in the market for an exotic bird, the Suncoast Exotic Bird Fair was the place to be. It was held at the Saab Shriners on Beneva Road. There were birds of all types and sizes, toys, cages, and seeds, all the necessities for your feathered friends. There were even prizes. We asked Caleb Kuffler if he plans on getting a new bird. He said he wasn't because he and his grandmother already have 21.
It's actually a very interesting place. Like sometimes they will teach you about the birds and it's just a really cool place to explore about birds.
The Suncoast Exotic Bird Fair group travels around the state promoting the birds and showing owners how to best take care of them. Well, Pokemon Go has taken the nation by storm, and many businesses are looking to get in on the action. Today, Cat Depot held a Pokemon tournament. Players could join either the yellow, blue, or red team. The objective was to find the different characters and battle the other players.
I think that's awesome that you get to play Pokemon while coming here to see cats, because I love cats so much, so it's fun to me, really fun.
Players were encouraged to visit the adoption center. If they adopted a furry friend, they got a free toy to take home with them. And it was a very happy birthday for Grace Weigman today. A student at Oak Park School in Sarasota, she invited her school resource officer to her birthday party, but when he got tied up at an event, he called in backup. Sarasota County Sheriff's Officer Lieutenant Dale Barschninger and Sergeant Cliff Legg responded to the call and brought Weigman a badge and a patch, swearing her in as an honorary member of the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office, bringing quite a smile to her and the deputies. And from all of us, happy birthday, Grace. Well, still to come here on ABC 7, a deadly hot air balloon crash. More than a dozen people are dead. NTSB is investigating, and we'll tell you what they say happened when we come back.
Shop GoWildHonda.com. Lease a new Civic for $174 and no down payment, just $174. Get great clearance deals now at GoWildHonda.com or visit Wild Honda Sarasota. It's gotta be wild.
Monday at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Hello, I'm Don Brennan. Cycling is already a great way to stay fit and stay healthy, but new research shows it's proven to be beneficial in other ways as well. Monday on Good Morning Suncoast, we'll show you how it's helping lower the risk for type 2 diabetes. Wendy?
And rain showers back in the forecast are helping to cool things off a little bit.
Monday at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you. At ABC7, it's all about being here for you. ABC7 News at 7 with award-winning investigative journalist Alan Cohn. In-depth reporting and debate on important issues and stories in our community with a featured topic of the day and a live roundtable discussion with community leaders and newsmakers. Plus a quick recap of the day's top stories and weather. ABC7 News at 7 weeknights. Now more than ever, we're here for you, Suncoast. Monday at 5 on ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Some infants may not be well protected in car seats. Details in Health Smart.
Monday at 5 on ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC7. We're here for you.
Dog days of summer got you down? Beat the heat with huge summer savings during the summer clearance event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. You'll feel cooler than ever when you drive away in a new Jeep Cherokee for as little as $19,999, or take home a stylish new Jeep Renegade for just $18,599. How about a new 2016 Jeep Patriot for just $14,999? Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
That's Chuck, proud homeowner, regular do-it-yourselfer. Today he's attempting an electrical repair. This is Pablo. He's an electrician with Mr. Sparky. How's he doing, Pablo?
Terrible, Mike.
Yeah. What Chuck doesn't realize is that almost 68,000 home fires are caused every year by electrical problems.
What?
If he doesn't have the proper tools and training, he's liable to start the next one.
Little help here.
That's what I'm talking about.
Call 888
meet Sparky.
You might want to write that number down.
Shop GoWildHonda.com. Lease a new Accord for $189 and no down payment. Just $189 or 0.9% APR. Get great clearance deals now at GoWildHonda.com or visit Wild Honda Sarasota. It's gotta be wild.
Well, Donald Trump under fire over controversial remarks. His comments about a grieving father's emotional speech about his fallen soldier son now getting heated criticism from Hillary Clinton and others. The Republican nominee for president took issue with the Khan family after a speech at the Democratic National Convention. Trump mocking the mother of a fallen Muslim soldier for not speaking at the convention.
I was in pain, and all America felt that pain.
Running for president is not an entitlement to disrespect Gold Star family and Gold Star mother.
The Trump campaign put out a statement calling Captain Humayun Khan a hero. Then Trump took to Twitter defending his words that he fired back after being attacked by Mr. Khan. And staying on politics, here in Florida, the deadline to register to vote in next month's primary election is fast approaching. Florida voters must register this Monday. The primary is on August 30th, and it will include races for the U.S. Senate and the House of Representatives, along with local commission races. Florida is a closed primary state, which means in most cases, only voters who are registered as Republicans or Democrats can cast ballots. More than 2 million ballots have already been mailed out to Floridians. For more information on the election, visit SarasotaVotes.com or VoteManatee.com. Well, federal investigators from at least 3 agencies are now on the scene of that hot air balloon crash in Central Texas. It's the deadliest in U.S. history. 16 people were killed when authorities say the balloon possibly hit high-voltage power lines and crashed into an open field. ABC's Elizabeth Herr is near Lockhart, Texas, with the latest.
Tonight, new video emerging showing the heart of Texas hot air balloon in the sky just before 7 Saturday morning. Then at 7:38, the same balloon captured again in these pictures, flying low over a farmland. Just 6 minutes later, the crash and the 911 calls.
Major en route for a vehicle that's fully engulfed in flames.
Among those killed, the pilot and the owner of the company that operated the balloon, Skip Nichols.
He loved what he did. His utmost priority was the safety to his passengers.
It's very, very rare that we see an accident of this magnitude occur in the United States.
Fellow pilots and friends calling the accident tragic but rare. But this crash is raising questions again about safety. Just 2 years ago, the NTSB called for more regulation of the hot air balloon tour industry in a letter to the FAA, citing operational deficiencies in the industry. At the time, the FAA deemed more oversight unnecessary. And now, before those recommendations are revisited, officials say investigating this accident in Texas thoroughly is priority.
We're looking at the operation of the balloon, the pilot, the company that operated the balloon. We'll be looking at the maintenance aspects of this balloon.
In short, NTSB officials say they look at 3 things when it comes to these investigations: the human, the machine, and the environment. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, near Lockhart, Texas.
Well, 2 deputies are saved tonight after a dangerous confrontation. The Clay County Sheriff's Office says one of their deputies was injured when 47-year-old Tommy Baird attempted to kill him during a traffic stop. An incident report says Baird robbed a Walmart and then took off down Blanding Boulevard. 2 deputies patrolling the area pulled Baird over after they recognized his truck. When the deputy asked Baird to step out of his car, that's when he turned it back on and accelerated forward, hitting the patrol car and trapping the deputy's leg underneath the tire. Then he reversed the car and ran over the deputy's leg another time before he was taken into custody.
In many cases, deadly force is used in a situation like that, which is justified. However, so often police officers do find other ways to stop the person. I think they should be commended for that, for being able to apprehend the person without using deadly force.
Baird faces several charges, including attempted murder. And boats are killing manatees in Florida at a record-setting pace. The FWC has counted 71 manatees hit and killed by boats as of July 22nd. State records show that Lee County leads the state in boat-related manatee deaths with 11 this year. 2 manatees were killed by boats in Manatee County, and 1 was killed in Sarasota County since the start of 2016. Boating advocates say polluted Florida waterways have reduced manatee habitats, making them more vulnerable to boat strikes. And Florida may restrict who can own venomous snakes in the state. This comes after 2 cobras escaped from a private home last year. Florida is also home to 6 types of venomous snakes, like rattlesnakes and coral snakes. FWC may enact new regulations on ownership of snakes like cobras and vipers. The commission is considering restrictions ranging from an outright ban to owning the non-native snakes with stricter rules on caging. Draft rules will be presented to the commission in September. And check out the flooding last night in Maryland. The street transformed into a rushing river with cars swept away and more than 100 water rescues. The city just west of Baltimore received 1 month's worth of rain in just 2 hours. A state of emergency declared in that county, and the flood threat is not over yet tonight. Well, we had some rain, but we didn't have rain that bad tonight.
We just don't see storms like that in the United States. That is amazing footage, and it looks like they're going to continue to have heavy rain from Richmond, Virginia, Washington up to New York City overnight and into tomorrow. So our rains are gone. That's the good part. But look what happened today, thanks to the nice people that sent pictures into pics at mysuncoast.com. Sheila from Bird Key sent this picture out of the shelf cloud moving over Sarasota about the time we were on the air on our 6 o'clock newscast. Here's the shelf cloud over Parrish right at sunset. Thanks to B. Knowles for sending it in. And at State Route 64 in Bradenton, right underneath the shelf cloud. Look at Samantha Gula's picture. Thank you so much for sending those in. It was definitely a wild night. Well, across the state at this hour, 78 at Tampa. This is about as cool as I've seen it this time of night, and it's mainly due to all those storms we've had earlier today, not just 1 round, but 2 rounds of it. Temperatures even out on the beach, 79 at Longboat Key Siesta, 77, 77 at Arcadia, Maca City, 78 degrees. Now, if we take a look at the radar, there are some lingering showers up in Pinellas County right along the coast, and there could be some drizzle remaining right about Holmes Beach, Anna Maria Island, but it's mainly moving offshore. We're on the backside of all this. In fact, if we look back over where these storms came from earlier today down in South Florida, it has dried out. So that's the backside of it. It's actually an upper air wave in the atmosphere that has kind of pivoted over Florida from the Bahamas during the day. It's on the backside of us now, and we should have some drier air breaking our rain for about a day. Taking a look at the tropics, well, those easterly waves off Africa, African easterly waves continue to blow off the coast into the Atlantic, but it's really inhospitable for them once they get out of the water. But this one made it into the Caribbean today. Invest 97L. It has a 70% chance of developing in the next 5 days into a tropical cyclone. It still has no central circulation, although it does have some very interesting spiraling bands. The computer models, a spaghetti plot of them, show the potential storm, which would be Tropical Storm Earl if it does form into one, moving across the Caribbean all week, approaching the Yucatan Peninsula by late in the week. It could possibly be a tropical storm by the time Bob Harrigan talks to you tomorrow night about it. But look how far away it is from Florida. So it is not going to have any impact on our Florida weather, so we can take a deep breath on this one, but stay alert. The hurricane season clearly is heating up. Here's a satellite view showing the storm skirting San Juan, a little explosion of convection that could possibly spin up a surface low overnight. We'll look very closely. I'm sure John Scalzi will look more closely at this tomorrow morning on Good Morning Suncoast. And also, this is the radar site from San Juan showing almost a spin trying to form there, but not quite yet. We'll keep an eye on this all week long. Well, here's the dip in the jet stream causing that heavy rain that produced the flooding around Baltimore, now moving up the Atlantic coast overnight into tomorrow. But for us, we're down here under high pressure, except for that upper atmosphere low wave that came over us during the day. You can kind of see it pivoting over. And on the backside of it, drier air is filtering in over Florida, and that will kind of inhibit the storm formation tomorrow afternoon. So I'm only calling about a 10 to 20% chance of thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon. But these are what is left for tonight. Now we're clearing out overnight. This is Monday. Look at the afternoon, look at the evening. A few popping up. I think they're overblown. Again, only about a 20% coverage, but they come back on Tuesday. Boy, they'll hop back up to about a 50 to 60% coverage on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We get a one-day break. Here's a marine forecast out in the open waters. Look for winds to be easterly in the morning, southerly in the afternoon, 10 knots, seas 2 feet or less. Bay and inland waters will have a light chop. And our forecast at the beach tomorrow, 91 degrees, water temperature 90, and our UV index 11, with only the slightest chance we'll see a storm. Here's my forecast for tonight. Partly cloudy and warm, dry for the rest of tonight. Our low temperature 76, our average low temperature 75. And for tomorrow, a mostly sunny day. It'll be dry, pretty much. 92 for a high. Now watch that one shower come by and mess it all up. But only at 20% coverage tomorrow. Our average high 90, so a little warmer than normal. Here's our 7-day outlook showing Monday 20% chance coverage. Then it increases to 60 run for Tuesday, Wednesday, a little less on Thursday and Friday. Christopher, maybe next weekend will be dry like tomorrow will be.
Hope for that for sure. Sports is next. Stay with us.
From a baby's first steps to walking your daughter down the aisle, so many of life's precious moments are spent on our feet, and every step you take contributes to a healthier heart. By walking briskly for just 30 minutes a day, you can lower your risk for heart disease and stroke. So join us and take the first step to a healthier, longer life. The American Heart Association. Life. Life is why.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to save a life? Find out by donating platelets at Suncoast Blood Bank.
I'm Haley Wilgus, ABC7. Platelets aid in the clotting process and are vital in the treatment of cancer and surgical patients, trauma victims, and critically ill newborns. It's tough to keep enough on the shelves because they only last 5 days. To donate, call this number or visit scbb.org and you can help save a life.
ABC7 congratulates Suncoast Blood Bank on 65 years of serving our community. Monday on ABC7 News at 7.
I liked the Republican convention better. I did. I liked it better. I liked it better.
We took you to Cleveland and to Philadelphia. Now a look back at the highs and lows of both conventions. Hi, I'm Ray Collins. Don't miss our roundtable discussion about the two conventions in Philadelphia and Cleveland.
Monday on ABC7 News at 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Thanks to my volunteer, I am a better reader.
Thanks to my volunteer, math seems simple now.
Thanks to my volunteer, I discovered new career goals.
I'm a volunteer for Sarasota County Schools, so I know I can make a difference. And you can too. Give an hour, change a life.
Hurricane season is here. Are you prepared? ABC7 has the information you need. Access our special Surviving a Hurricane now. Access our special on our ABC7 app and all our live streaming platforms.
Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku.
Looks like we're getting another new neighbor.
Now you could be the millionaire next door. Play Monopoly Florida Edition scratch-off games with a top prize of $5 million. The Florida Lottery. Just imagine.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, it's all about getting more for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. Stop by to see our new state-of-the-art showroom today, and you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet, a new 2016 Subaru Forester, for just $229 a month, complimentary maintenance included, at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Now, sports.
Well, looking for their fourth straight victory, the Rays welcome the Yankees to Tropicana Field Sunday for the rubber match of a 3-game set. We'll pick it up at the bottom of the fifth. Rays up 2-0. Brad Miller drives one high and deep into right center for a solo home run that lands in the Stingray tank. 3-0 Rays. The top of the sixth, one person on base, no outs. The Yanks' Carlos Beltran rips the pitch from Blake Snell to left center for a 2-run homer. Yankees down 3-2. Bases loaded with 2 outs. Luke Maile with a seeing eye single back into center. Steven Souza Jr. and Kevin Kiermaier come around to score. Rays go on to win 5-3. Tampa Bay will take on the Kansas City Royals tomorrow at 7 at Tropicana Field. Well, NASCAR fans at the Sprint Cup race will have to wait to see the Pennsylvania 400. Intermittent rain fits postponed the race at the Pocono Raceway. Wet weather moved into the area last night, and it was raining hard today as teams went through pre-race inspection. The race will pick up tomorrow at 11 a.m. And Brazilian officials are investigating a possible case of arson at Olympic Village in Rio. That's according to an official close to the investigation. A small fire broke out in the underground parking lot near a building used by Australian athletes on Friday. The Australian Olympic Committee says about 100 athletes and officials were evacuated from the building. An Australian spokesperson says the fire filled the stairways, but no one was injured. More to come here on ABC 7. Stay with us.
Record-setting hot weather means your AC is working overtime to keep your home cool, which can lead to high bills. That's why we're bringing in the energy experts from Florida Power and Light Company. Watch ABC 7 News from 5 to 6:30 this Tuesday to get your questions answered during the FPL Ask the Energy Expert phone bank. From smart technology to free online tools, learn how to save energy and money only on ABC 7.
Music on Main at Lakewood Ranch. If you haven't been, come on out and see what you've been missing. The first Friday of every month, you can enjoy a free concert, dancing, great food, and lots of fun for every family member, even the furry ones. Catch up with friends, enjoy free activities for the kids, or make it date night. Whatever your pleasure, there's something for everyone at Music on Main, the first Friday of every month at Lakewood Ranch. Brought to you by these sponsors at ABC 7.
Monday at 5 on ABC 7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Hello, I'm Don Brennan. Cycling is already a great way to stay fit and stay healthy, but new research shows it's proven to be beneficial in other ways as well. Monday on Good Morning Suncoast, we'll show you how it's helping lower the risk for type 2 diabetes. Wendy?
And rain showers back in the forecast are helping to cool things off a little bit.
Monday at 5 on ABC 7's Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you. At ABC 7, it's all about being here for you. ABC 7 News at 7 with award-winning investigative journalist Alan Cohn. In-depth reporting and debate on important issues and stories in our community with a featured topic of the day and a live roundtable discussion with community leaders and newsmakers. Plus a quick recap of the day's top stories and weather. ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights. Now more than ever, we're here for you, Suncoast. Hurricane season is here, and so is the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC 7. This essential resource arms you with vital information you need to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit, shelter locations, what to do with pets, and important phone numbers. Visit mysuncoast.com and download the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC 7. Brought to you by the Florida Lottery. ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Well, the heat did not stop nearly 5,000 women from taking on the major challenge in New Hampshire. Women from all over New England took part in the Mudderella, a women-focused version of the famous Tough Mudder event. The event takes teams on a 5-mile course with 14 obstacles along the way, many of which involve crawling, rolling, and sliding through the mud. The Mudderella event began in 2013. Good for them. Good for them. So we have a little bit of a rainy week.
We
but
need
not
more
tomorrow.
mud like that.
Yeah, we do. We do. We might get it later in the week.
Take 1 day break. That's tomorrow, only a 20% chance of showers, and then it comes back with a vengeance Tuesday through Friday.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you again soon. Good night.